So you got flatworms, but you want to get rid of them without using chemicals because you don't know what's really in the chemicals. Well, this video is here to help you out. This tank had a really bad flatworm problem about a year ago, and I would say that it is finally eradicated. Every time I dip a coral, you used to see between 10 and 20 flatworms instantly wiggling and falling off, and now when I dip a coral, there's next to nothing. That being said, if you're looking at these corals in this tank, yes, no, not all of them are happy. This is a real reef tank. I don't know how people keep all their corals happy. Like every single one, you keep it looking amazing. I try my best. Not everything is looking great. In fact, this one's even fallen over. I will pick that up at some point. You will see it just standing up. But anyways, you want to get rid of flatworms in your tank, but you don't want to use things like Flatworm X. This is going to be your best bet, and it's going to be livestock. Now, when you look up livestock to deal with flatworms, 100% of the time what you're going to see is wrasses. More specifically, the 6-line wrasse. And I would say if you have the tank space and the chance to get him, and of course a lid, you should 100% go with the 6-line wrasse. Those guys are great for eating the flatworms off of corals. It is proven time and time again. They are in every single LFS's tank that I've seen. They're not very aggressive when they're younger. They get quite large. I've seen a large one that made me not want to buy one for this tank. I say that while I have a tank swimming around, but it's okay, you guys forgot about them. But if you don't want to get a 6-line or maybe a pygmy or a Christmas wrasse or all of those super fun and awesome and amazing looking colored fish, then what I recommend is the dragonette, another super awesome amazing colored fish. Now, if you look it up, the dragonette does not primarily diet on flatworms, or if you want to use scientific names, red planaria. I do have to point out right now that I am not talking about Euphyllia eating flatworms. I'm talking about planaria. They're flatworms that hang out on Euphyllia, but they're not the Euphyllia eating flatworms. There is a difference. But anyways, this is the Mandarin dragonette that has absolutely cleared my tank of flatworms. I will say it did take him a while to clear it and to even start eating the flatworms. But ever since adding him into the tank, I noticed that when I dip the corals, there are less flatworms. And what I mean by less is there are no flatworms at all. And I have to contribute it to the Mandarin dragonette. A few other people have also contributed it to the Mandarin dragonette. But more specifically, the scooter blennies. And even the LFS told me the same thing, where these scooter blennies, or the target mandarins, they are a little better at eating the Euphyllia eating flatworms and targeting certain pests like that. These mandarins tend to be lazy and they're super hard to get to feed. I must have gotten lucky, but I've never ever caught him eating a single pellet food. This man eats all of my copepods and he eats all of my flatworms. I will stand by it. If you want to get rid of flatworms fast, use Flatworm X. That's going to be your best bet. If you want to have a fish that's going to guarantee get rid of your flatworms, buy a wrasse. You just have to deal with all the problems that come with it. You know, they're heavy jumpers. They can be aggressive. You know, all that fun stuff that people like to say about wrasses. But if you want to play it safe, and if you also just happen to want an excuse to get a dragonette in your tank, this is a great excuse, and probably one of the best ones you're going to get, considering that these guys are just a plain old hassle. This guy's been doing great in my tank. I haven't fed him copepods not once since I've added him, and he's been in here for about a year already. Maybe not a year. He's been in here for about 8 months with no copepod feeding. He straight just grazes all day long. He doesn't eat a single pellet of food. So he has to be eating the flatworms because the flatworms are gone and he is fat. If you're in this 505 area, I am starting to slice up my walls back here, you know. I made a little light gap here so that way my mint star polyps can grow. I've also been slowly chunking away all this xenia, going boom, and then maybe getting a razor blade and going boom with the GSP. And with all of that, I'm making some happy little frags. I kind of moved everything over here for a test track, so I have about one of everything except for the things that are struggling. I have a few of. But I did frag up my green star polyp and my mint star polyps. These guys are super cool. If you're in the 505 area, let me know. I am selling them locally. I also have all of this other fun stuff, but it seems like people are most interested in the beginner-friendly corals. That'll be about it for this video. I'm really need to go pick this up. And if you watch to the end and you're wondering how the overall tank health is doing, I ended up buying a bit of GFO, some phosbond, to try and get rid of the phosphate in the tank and see if that made some difference with some of my corals. Mostly this one. I really want to save this one. I've been trying to save them for a couple months. And I put the phosphate, or the phosguard, into the tank, and a few corals, I gotta say, a few corals absolutely loved it. This frog spawn loved it, right? This torch coral, I'm absolutely loving it. But as far as certain other ones, like my Ghani, for some, I think I kind of shocked it, lowering the phosphate so fast. And then a couple Euphilia too, like this one has absolutely retracted all the way up the base. Yeah, I know it's on the sand bed right now, but it wasn't like that. It was all the way down to like somewhere around here, and now it's gone. So I need to work on that. And then the same thing is kind of happening to this frag here. And I'm not sure if I'm just mean as hell when I move them. Because all I did was move, because this coral fell, boom. I moved him here, which is where he was. So I had to move him from over here to over here. And he's not doing good. Between me moving him and adding in the GFO, he's just not too happy. But I really need to do a water change on this tank. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and share. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day and all of your tank issues subside. Peace.